What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with another video on the Superman movie. So I thought, seeing as the trailer came out yesterday, and it's caused a lot of controversy, I think, overall. Now, sure, the trailer has done really well in terms of views. Now, we here at the Warstu channel only go by the main upload. So 10 million views in under 24 hours is good for a DC property. Now, some people will come and say, yo, this broke the internet. Now, I don't know if you understand what breaking the internet means. Breaking the internet means you'd have to crash the YouTube servers. So when Solar Leveling came out, season 2, every episode literally broke the internet. The most recent Dragon Ball, the last few episodes broke the internet. So I hate to tell you, the Superman trailer was good, but it didn't come close to breaking YouTube or the internet at all. So we're going to talk about a plot leak, right? Which is basically being confirmed since this trailer came out. And it was debunked by a lot of people saying that a lot of it was fake. So basically the whole plot was described in the trailer, but it's also been out there for the longest time ever. Now, I'm kind of mixed about how I feel about this. So, if you're new around here, make subscribe to never miss any of Marvel DC Kaiju. What's this pop culture based content that I try to deliver on a daily basis? Go to subscribe channel, turn notifications on, and let me know down below. How excited are you? Like, because even if you don't like the look of this movie, you're gonna go watch it. It's gonna make bang. I've said that this movie could potentially break $700 million, which would be fantastic. Also, check us out on Instagram. Or it's due to see that beautiful face behind that beautiful face. And also, I've got a channel over there where I can post stuff like the set leaks for Supergirl and for Marvel at Doomsday that I can't necessarily put on YouTube because there's a lot of hurdles you have to jump over on YouTube. And also check us out on Twitter. Warstu G. Right, let's get into it. So, firstly, the opening scene of this trailer is very controversial, right? Because you've got to understand, yes, Superman and Clark Kent, they're the same person, right? But they're not, because Clark Kent is his hidden identity, it's his alter ego. So the trailer starts with Lois Lane, the savage, the absolute beast. I'm saying beast in the sense she absolutely went in on Superman, because the plot of this movie is essentially the ramifications of Superman going over to stop a war because he could, and essentially because his suit is essentially the colors of the American flag or the American way. It's almost like he did it on behalf of America, and that's why he's being taken in by Ultraman, who ironically is actually being played by David Cornsnet as well. It will be Bizarro. That's why they're covering up, because he's playing a dual role, which I think is going to be fantastic. So he's essentially getting in trouble for stopping a war and taking responsibility into his own hands, which he wants to do. But this argument, it's weird. I almost thought that Clark Kent was going to actually beat Lois Lane up. Like, come on now. And I know what some people will say, yo, have you seen Superman and Lois? Yeah, but this is Superman being interviewed. This is not Clark Kent being interviewed. So the plot leak reads like this, and it's worth saying this came out such a long time ago. Superman is taken to the Fortress of Solitude to be healed by the robots. It says that work there. You know, they're essentially there. Lex Luthor and his team are introduced. They hate Superman and devise a plan to eliminate him, involving a partnership with the government of a foreign nation to take over a small country. Political metaphor, and it says Luthor equals Elon Musk, corrupt country equals we can't say, small country equals we cannot say. At the Daily Planet, Jimmy Olsen behaves as expected, but the plot twist is girls are obsessively basically obsessed with him for no reason, and he doesn't understand why, and he can't avoid the attention. Lois questions how Clark consistently gets interviews with Superman, creating some tension. Now, this is interesting because obviously we know why and how she does that. We already know that. Lois goes to her apartment at night and finds Clark there. It's revealed they've been secretly dating for 3 months and she knows he's Superman. Their tension is all part of a cute roleplay thing at work. But that's interesting because this is basically an established universe where there's no origin story, which no one really needs, let's be honest, lads. But it's to the point where, to me, there's no originality. And everyone keeps going, yo, this is like the Superman animated cartoons that I watched when I was younger. This is literally coming from a comic book panel. But it's like, but then that kind of argument in the interview isn't. So it's an interesting take from the trailer. And I think you can really find out everything from this movie just from this one trailer. In her living room, Lois complains about Clark always interviewing Superman. She's playfully turned on her microphone to record him, starting as a cute game, but developing into a long domestic argument about a foreign policy and Superman's involvement. Now, this is the start of the trailer. This is how you know this is true, lads, because this came out literally months ago, and all the Twitter scoopers said it was fake. And I think this scene's caused a lot of controversy, because it's Superman. You're not Superman. You're Superboy. You're like Soy Boy in this. It's like, this is not Superman. And people go, oh, you have not read it. You don't need to read every single Superman comic because you'd have to be over 70 to understand that this is Superman being interviewed. It's not Clark. And he's acting like he's about to beat her up. So then it goes on. Lex Luthor releases a monster into the city to fight Superman, who defeats him. The Justice Gang appears and helps in the fight, and they're basically the guardians of this galaxy. I mean, I don't understand if we've got a Superman who is so OP, although it appears everyone's got their own kryptonite in this trailer. Why would he need help? At one point, Lex enters the Fortress of Solitude, uncorrupt Jor-El message about Superman being sent to conquer the world, Invincible style, and broadcast them to the world. The message turns humanity against Superman, making him an outcast. We can literally see this in the trailer. Superman is shunned by the world, returns home to his human family. And we can actually see they've edited a scene. So when someone throws a ball at Superman, when it looks like he's going into some court building, they've edited it out because he blinked his eyes, but they've literally edited that part out. Lex Luthor has access to a pocket universe where he traps people he hates, including his ex-girlfriend. He violently beats Krypto and takes him to this universe. Somehow Superman ends up trapped there too. We literally see this in the trailer. Lois and the Justice Gang discovers Superman's location. We see this in the trailer. In this pocket dimension, through Jimmy, who had secretly been sexting Lex's girlfriend. She's obsessed with Superman, and her photos unintentionally reveal confidential data. Superman eventually escapes the pocket universe by flying through the pixelated lava, which looks like Minecraft. Superman saves some people and fights the foreign army, earning forgiveness from others. The best action sequence is as good as Guardians of the Galaxy 3, apparently. Hallway scene involving Mr. Terrific. Superman learns of Lex's plan with the foreign nation. He informs the government, but Lex counters by revealing he cloned Superman. A fight ensues between Superman and his clone, who share the same DNA and can access the Fortress of Solitude. This is pretty much the fight that we see at the baseball pitch. Superman defeats the clone. Lex is taken to jail. Superman returns to Fortress of Solitude, where a drunk sorority version of Supergirl reclaims her dog, Krypto. This is why it's weird they were marketing it before the main trailer on the dog, because the dog is Supergirl's dog. She asks Superman to watch the dog. Superman sits back, asks to see his family again, but instead of Jor-El, it shows his human family. Now, there's nothing wrong with this plot. Like I say, execution is execution. I just think it's a little bit weird how they start the trailer with an interview. Now, we know apparently this was the chemistry test. And for me, they're giving off like cousin vibe. They're giving off brother and sister. Now, I see a lot of people glazing this for some reason. I don't know why it's getting so much glaze. Now, like I said, I think this movie do very well. It's going to do very well with families and children because he is Superman. It's just a very weird way they've introduced him. Now, the second I criticize anything, y'all go, yo, you're a Snyder fan, you're a Henry Cavill fan. No, I'm not one of these James Gunn Superman fans that keeps bringing up Henry Cavill in post. If you can't compliment the new Superman and this trailer without bringing up the Snyderverse or DCU going, yeah, this is how you do it. Yeah, but looks better than Henry Cavill in 5 seconds. No, he really doesn't, but it's interesting. So that plot came out a long time ago. So when James Gunn debunked a bunch of stuff, pretty much we knew that he was lying. It's a weird way to start the big trailer for the big marketing campaign, and I've heard a lot of mixed things about this movie behind the scenes. Now, I'm really hyped to see it. It comes out in 2 movies. I will be supporting it. I will be covering as much as I can. But it's interesting because my comment section, it's really mixed. So I'd love to know what you guys think. That's the general plot, realistically. It's all based on Superman going to intervene to stop a war without the president's permission. And that is all the evidence that really Lex needs to go in on him. And Lex's motivation for hating Superman is he's an alien, he's an it, he doesn't deserve it. Lex is going to freaking kill this. And anyone that thinks Nicholas Hoult is not a good actor, you clearly don't watch movies outside of the pop culture space. Nicholas Hoult is a great actor. So is Rachel Brosnahan. The only reason I can't give creditation to David Korsner is I've only really seen him in one movie, which is Twisters, and he wasn't very good in that. He was good in a Netflix show, but I haven't seen enough of him. So this movie will bang. Just the plot is a bit basic, and the way that James Gunn did the trailer was super weird, if you ask me. So like always, guys, let me know everything that you think down below. And I will catch you in another video very soon. Catch ya later.